Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name and it feels like harmless phosphorescence. Hello, everyone. This is Harry Thundercunt Thoreau Smiley. Who's joining me?
All right. I'll say it. You don't have to put your fingers in me. I'm Josh Siskel.
Yes, your underwear is getting tighter. I'm Brian Lesh.
And I am annoying one-trick pony, Alaric Weber.
Oh, Al.
You're the opposite of a one-trick pony.
You have
You got at least two.
You're a stallion with no tricks.
Even since we were teenagers, if we were lined in a row, it's like, how does that work? Just turning until we get to Al.
This is Harmless Phosphorescence, your deep dive movie podcast where we pick a theme or series, we watch the movies, we gather some research into the production and source material, and we tell you about it. This show is brought to you by patrons. You want to be a patron? Just go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. You can be a patron like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. It's quick, it's easy, and we only require a small DNA sample. Patreon.com/harmlessentertainment.
We just did Adaptation.
Yeah.
And that was a great episode and a lot of parallels with this movie. I want to give a shout out to Michael Beckwith. Hope your wrist heals. Hope you're doing better. I know I'm not in the Discord, but
yeah. Yeah, he's our executive producer, healing from a fall he took. And wish you the best, buddy. So patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. $1 a month is all you need to get a bunch of extra shows. This week we are back on our bullshit. We are here talking about superhero movies.
I forgot we did that.
Yeah, it's been a minute. The last one we did was Madam Web.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not us. I mean, we've caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just did them all. We did all of them until we've got a few now. We waited, got a little bit of a backlog, and we're catching up on our most recent batch of superhero movies. And this week, we're watching Deadpool and Wolverine.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider. I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man. I am soaking wet right now.
This is so silly.
This is what I'm talking about. Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Want to do some cocaine?
Hey, Cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching powder?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupter?
Even force bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes! But I can't.
Woo! Deadpool.
Well, if a trailer
and
ever
Wolverine.
delivered.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck.
That cocaine line was written for the trailer, but was so funny it made it into the movie.
I love it.
I love that they're
I
just
had
like,
heard-
no, we wrote the cocaine Disney line first.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't know if I've heard Force Bump, maybe, but White Girl Interrupted is the best name.
Yes,
for
it is.
cocaine.
They're all so good.
Everyone seems to like meth, but I love cocaine, especially white ones.
Yeah. No. That's by all accounts, that is absolutely true. The one thing Feige said is you can't do cocaine. That's the only thing you can't do. And so Ryan Reynolds was like, "Oh, can't I? Okay, then that's all I'm going to talk
it's
about."
Funnier. It's the potential for funny lies in not having the cocaine.
Yeah. Yes.
Once the cocaine arrives, funny stops.
Yeah. Then things aren't funny anymore. They're
No, it's time to get down to business.
Yeah, exactly. Deadpool and Wolverine was released July 26th, 2024, with a running time of 128 minutes. It cost $200 million. It made $1,338 million. So
That's crazy.
yeah, it was the biggest hit of 2024. It was the biggest hit that Marvel's had, I think, since No Way Home.
Endgame? No Way
Yeah.
Home. Yeah, that was a boon.
Yeah. And this
Yeah, I mean, and it deserves its success, but when you start like quantifying those kinds of numbers, it's just insane.
Yeah.
It's interesting that this is what the people like. That's what blows my mind about that more than anything.
It's been the point I think we've been trying to make or whatever. There's no reason to be afraid of fan service. Obviously, not every superhero movie can be this much fan service, but I'm glad he let studios know that they can do that. James Gunn's trying his best to let them know as well. Like, we can have fun with this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, did you know that?
Yeah. It can be fun. It can be fan servicey. Honestly, it just comes down to, in the end, is the movie any fucking good? That's
So Jerica and Ella, my sister and niece, they knew nothing about Deadpool. They hadn't seen the Deadpool movies. The sarcasm and violence just did not interest them whatsoever. This is one of their favorite, and they're Marvel heads, but this is one of their favorite movies. They went in not knowing anything but Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like, that was incredible.
Nice.
So you didn't have to be a fan. It's not just that.
This is, I think, the closest thing to what people in pop culture think of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like the movies are how people know Wolverine, but they've never captured Wolverine's essence like they did in this movie. Like,
This is the most Wolverine we've ever seen on screen.
Right.
More than Logan by far.
By far. And it's funny because they talk, fanboys talk about nerfing characters and how so many characters have been nerfed and they're such badasses. It's funny because Wolverine was nerfed in the beginning. And then, like you said, this is our guy. This is Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, this is
bad life decisions and everything.
Yeah.
Regret, anger.
And like a wild
frustration.
animal backed into the corner most times.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we got to see all the variations of him that are comic accurate.
Right. Without having to give them all a storyline.
Yeah.
You know? And,
Right.
and they could. Patch could have his own movie.
We don't
He and
need to
Joe
see the
Pesci.
Age of Apocalypse Wolverine movie.
Right.
So the
brilliant.
the interesting thing to me is the choice of all these cameos and the characters that they showed all served the plot and the themes.
Right.
Like, I think that's the thing that's been missing in a lot of other comic book movies that do not, I don't want to say gratuitous cameos because everybody's got cameos and everything, but they don't serve the plot. You know, like I think of the Guardians in Thor, you know,
right?
Or Thor and the Guardians. Like they don't really serve each other in any way.
Right. Well,
like,
yeah.
Story-wise, theme-wise.
Yeah.
Like if they were a badass lineup like the Avengers, it wouldn't be as impressive. It's cool that it was Elektra, and we hate Elektra.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool that it was Blade, and then it's cool that they introduced a known character.
Yeah,
the way he's supposed to be. Yeah, it wouldn't have if you had all the badasses like in Endgame. It wouldn't work as well. So you're absolutely right. Every single cameo served this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And these were the craziest part is those were their early choices.
Yeah,
they got who they
wanted. It was brilliant.
There was a couple notable exceptions as far as who they wanted and who they didn't want. We'll get into that when we get into the production. Yeah. But they made some really cool choices. It's crazy that this was essentially a love letter to the Marvel superhero films of 20th Century Fox, a series that people generally don't romanticize or think were as especially successful in portraying those superheroes.
And they just sort of went away as if they had gone to the void.
Yep.
So it's like Wade's trying to redeem his soul. They just want an ending to their stories, which they never got because studios canceled them. Their franchise.
Yeah, Elektra never got the sequel where she teamed up with Daredevil. That was supposed to happen.
Or Wesley Snipes. I bet he would have been able to pay his tax bill. There was a couple more Blade movies.
Yep. Well, and there's only one Blade,
Seriously.
and there's only ever gonna be one Blade.
And that might be true.
I watched the
Production
DVD behind the scenes, and they show all these, filming shots from the movie, but them on blue screens and stuff. And they showed him filming that, shooting the rocket launcher, and just that long wink is so much longer in the behind the scenes version that was printed and released with the DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. But it's so funny. Disney knows exactly what they were doing with that.
I would love to see the cut stuff from this. I know She-Hulk was in it, but I think it was smart to remove her.
Yeah.
It was way better to go with these characters that we're not sure if we like, really. And they're not in the momentary Marvel universe.
Tony
You're like,
Stark
I guess Elektra would still be alive.
Tony Stark was in the script for a while, and that's the one thing that I think would have elevated the movie.
Oh, really?
Because of the time,
I think just
because
having
of the time
Happy
travel stuff. But Happy works so well because Favreau is so good.
Well, yeah, they had to. I'll wait to production for that. But yes,
yeah. Sorry,
they like I said, it made a shit ton of money. It was released July 26, 2024. Let's play the box office top 10 game. This is the top 10 game for the week of July 26, 2024, this past summer. I will describe the top 10 movies of the week, and these fellas here are going to try to guess what movie I'm describing. Some of these I'm looking at, I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then others, I'm like, that movie.
I know. I get more when it's like 1986 than I do when it's last year.
Because I don't even know what this is. There's so many of these now. Okay, this is another Bollywood film. So many Bollywood movies are making the top 10 in the last 5 years.
They're insanely popular.
Yeah. This one, a series of unfortunate events lead our hero, a simpleton, to be dragged into the dreaded world of crime and manipulation.
Oh, is this Monkey Man?
No, it's not Monkey Man.
Oh.
This is an actual Bollywood
that's
film.
Dev Patel, right?
That is Dev Patel, and that was a Dev Patel
And it was
film.
sort of like Old Boy, right?
A little bit, yeah. Old Boy, John Wick, it was a revenge pick.
Gotcha.
This is called Rayan.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe you.
Yep. At number 9, I didn't know this movie did well enough to okay. It's crazy. It's crazy. Movies are crazy now. What is and isn't big at the box office, what gets released, what streams. It's crazy. A marketing maven wreaks havoc on NASA. When the White House deems a mission too important to fail, the countdown truly begins.
Fly Me to the Moon?
Fly Me to the Moon, starring Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum.
It's an Apple movie. That's why it didn't do very well. They don't give a fuck about box
Well, it's in
office sales.
the top 10, but no, they don't.
Yeah. No, but it made $42 million, which means it basically made its budget back. Yeah, it made its budget back, and then Apple gets to stream it.
Because they do like limited releases and shit. What?
Yeah, this thing made $42 million all told, which, like I said, it's its budget.
It's about faking the moon landing. I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But it's on my list.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't go that deep about it, but yeah.
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 Like jokingly, tongue in cheek, like in case
like
we
a
don't
marketing
land on the moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need better film than we'll get there.
But
well, and we figured out space travel before we telecommunications.
Right. Yeah.
We're going to be up there, but I don't know if we can beam anything down.
Throwing rocks is a lot easier than making rocks talk to each other, I guess.
Yeah. But also, it's crazy. A movie starring Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson 15 years ago would have been like #1 at the box office. It's about faking the moon landing. Maybe this thing's going to get Oscar nominated. Like,
and it is like a time. What do they call that? When you put it in a time frame.
Capsule.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A period piece. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, period piece. But now it barely exists.
Yeah.
Sorry to digress, but did anyone see the Michael Che Colin Jost joke swap?
Oh,
yes, with Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett was there.
Watching it last night, actually.
Yeah.
Michael Che made him read a joke about like, I eat roast beef every night since the baby was born. And they cut to Scarlett watching it in the hall.
Yeah.
And she's just, oh my God.
Shiz. Okay.
It's like when you got him like, she's the best Black Widow since Coretta Scott.
At number 8 at the box office, when their late police captain gets linked to drug cartels, 2 cops embark on a dangerous mission to clear his name. Bow, 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 bow.
This is Bad Boys 5.
Bad Boys Ride or Die. Yes. It's Bad Boys 4, and I really, really have to think that they regretted calling the third movie Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah,
they didn't really think that one through.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what were they going to call it, though? You know,
I mean,
Bad Boys.
Bad
Boys. What you gonna do? I guess Bad Boys. What you gonna do?
But the Bad Boys for Life obviously has to be the 4th movie. Listen, the Fast and Furious know what they're doing when it comes to the number.
Do they?
naming.
10 comes after 9.
Disagree.
They're not playing around.
Yeah, no. Fast 8. I don't know. Fate of the Furious.
Fast 10. Your seatbelts.
But Fate of the Furious, they know what they're doing.
Wrath of Groot.
If you can put a number in there that indicates the number of film it is while still making sense to your franchise, you're
So this
winning
is my
the
question
publicity wars.
What number is Tokyo Drift?
It's #1 to me. I like that one. I'm not gonna lie.
I still haven't seen them. We got to do those at some point. I don't want to.
I'm
but
I
scared.
don't know if I watched after Tokyo Drift. So.
Yeah, no. And by all accounts, what the series is has nothing to do with what those first few movies are. Nothing.
I've said it before, but working at the group homes with teen boys, I saw so many terrible action movies.
I bet.
So many.
I bet. At number 7 at the box office this week, the story of 2 friends who traveled to be bridesmaids in a surprise wedding for their college girlfriend. I had no idea this exists. What the fuck? This is crazy.
Man.
4 friends, 1 wedding.
What makes it crazy?
Lots
The
of
cast?
baggage. The cast. Yeah.
Okay.
Starring Susan Sarandon, Bette Midler, Megan Mullally, and Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Aunties, the movie.
Yeah, what the hell is this?
It's like
Not
the
fried green tomatoes
Brady for
too.
Brady.
Like,
Well, this is the weirdest entry into the Fast and Furious franchise, the Fabulous Four.
oh,
The Fab Four.
The Fabulous.
Where have I heard that?
Yeah, the Fabulous Four. Yeah, it's middle-aged chick flick, the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I had no idea that existed until just now.
But that's the demographic that still goes to movies.
Yeah.
Old people.
Yeah. Young people go to see Deadpool and Wolverine and you know, the Fast and Furious movies. All the other movies are being seen by old people.
Yeah. They still go to movies.
At number 6 at the box office, a young woman finds herself trapped in New York with a cat.
Garfield, A Pig in the City.
No, no, I kind of changed that up in order to not give it away.
Oh, I know this. The cat. Yeah, A Quiet Place.
Day
right?
One. A Quiet Place, Day One.
Yeah.
Somehow.
With Lupita.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. I don't know.
I haven't seen any of those movies.
I saw the first one. I don't think I bothered with the second one.
The second one apparently is just bad.
Yeah.
This one,
Isn't it just
Then
Bird
I thought-
Box,
I
but
thought it
with
was.
ears?
I thought it was going to be interesting how the human beings figured out it was sound, and it literally happened off screen in the first half hour.
yeah.
So,
Like they're attracted to sound. Like there would have to be some trial and error. How'd you come to that conclusion?
At number 5 at the box office this week, in pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree.
Nicolas Cage. What is that called? Long Legs?
Long Legs, yeah. One of Jude's favorite movies of the year. It's funny because he saw this, and then he saw Silence of the Lambs afterwards.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
That was Long Legs was pretty disappointing. Of course, I love Nicolas Cage. Wasn't the FBI agent? Isn't that Riley Keough, Elvis's granddaughter?
Oh my God. It's right. That is it?
Well, Riley Keough is, but I think that's her. Anyways, it was so disappointing. It was literally like adaptation. You know what I mean? Like, I was the killer all along. But it was, he's been in my basement for 20 years.
I've just seen some clips from it, and Nick Cage is fucking intense in
Yeah.
everything. But in that,
And
he's
he's
just
So good.
Yeah. Like I said,
But everybody else is like, meh.
it's apparently really hitting with Gen Z.
You know, Nick Cage has got something for everybody.
Absolutely.
Micah Monroe was the person in
Okay.
that, not really. Micah Monroe, I don't know, was in a bunch of
that's
horror movies. At number 4 at the box office for the week of July 26th, 2024, a young girl enters puberty and experiences new complex emotions.
Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2, yes. Yes, indeed. At number 3 at the box office, a family have a new member who's intent on tormenting his dad. And there's middle-aged lady memes.
Oh, Despicable something or other?
Despicable Me 4. Yeah. I swear this one was also in the Madam Web one, but I don't know. At number 2 at the box office, Kate Carter, a meteorologist, is persuaded to return to Oklahoma to work with a new team with new technologies.
Oh,
Twisters?
Twisters. Do you think that he wrote Twister on a chalkboard and then put a $sign at the end?
it's the guy who comes up with Pixar names.
Yeah.
He's like, just throw an S on there. Oh my God, you're brilliant. Where do we want to go for lunch?
And at number 1 at the box office, Deadpool is offered a place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe by the Time Variance Authority, but instead recruits a variant of Wolverine to save his universe from extinction. And that is the box office top 10, which brings us to a segment we've been dearly missing in our non-comic book movies, our comic and character background. Professor Weber, what can you tell us about this film and or character and or comic?
There's a lot. We're not going to cover everything.
When Al is like, there's a lot. It's time to strap in, guys.
Well, we saw 2 Deadpool movies, so that covers a lot of the cast.
Yeah. It's not as long as...
And like 9 Wolverine movies, so we don't have to go into their source material necessarily.
Plus, most of the other characters that we see, we've already seen.
Literally everyone except for one major comic book character has appeared in another film.
Sure.
And that one would be Cassandra Nova.
Oh, no, 2. I'm sorry, 2.
2 then.
Well, no. Gambit appeared.
I was.
Oh, that's right.
I came out with my daddy's dick ready, Al.
No, he was. You're right. He was in. Wolverine.
In Origins.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're
with
right.
his bow staff and everything.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Cassandra Nova, she's the older twin sister of Charles Xavier, created by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, first appearing in New X-Men number 114 in July of 2001.
Oh, wow, that early. That's cool.
Yeah. She was actually a Momadry, which is a parasitical life form born on the astral plane, born bodiless.
Must be nice.
I know. I'd like to be bodiless.
She copied Charles's DNA in the womb, becoming his anti-self. She tried.
Is Claire the anti-you? Al's a twin.
No, I'm the anti-her.
Fair enough.
She tried to strangle Charles in the womb with her umbilical cord, but he managed to fend her off with a prenatal psychic blast.
Prenatal psychic blast.
Take your vitamins, ladies.
You got to get a prenatal psychic blast, ladies. You think you want to do it natural, but in the moment you don't.
Life
OBGYN name that move.
Life begins at prenatal psychic.
And Cassandra's physical body was stillborn. Despite this, the psychic entity survived and eventually rebuilt its physical form by being psychically entangled with Charles.
Sure.
Yeah.
Powers include telepathy, telekinesis, DNA duplication, intangibility, premonition, yada, yada, yada.
Well, Al. And sass.
It's sass. That's
and
in the
genius level intellect.
That's covered in the second yada.
Okay.
The yada breakdown. You make it more verbose.
Cassandra Nova was responsible for the massacre of 16 million mutants in the mutant homeland of Genosha.
Yep.
Which we just saw in X-Men 97, spoiler alert. At the hands of somebody different, but the same way that she did it.
Yeah.
Well, and they did a real lazy version in the Dark Phoenix movie not that long, where Magneto and the other movement. But anyway, yeah. They made her look on screen a lot like her drawings. Not just the baldness, but the body posture and movement.
Emma Corrin went hard on playing that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet
the long fingers do a lot, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the weird lanky shoulders back, pelvis front stance.
Yeah.
All right.
I like when actors make choices.
Me too.
So let's talk about the Wolverine variants because the list is shorter. So after Dead Logan, we get the Short King, comic accurate, being 5'3".
I love the little body with the CGI.
Yeah, his head is so large.
Yeah.
And it looks hair too.
Yeah.
It looks shorter than 5'3" to me. But
But there's nothing
weird.
standing for scale, really.
Deadpool, I think,
Yeah.
was also standing up a couple of little steps. Like he was on a raised part of the floor, I think,
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
The next one is the Age of Apocalypse Weapon X. We see him missing a hand, and he's the most feral of the Wolverines.
He was a what's it called? Wasn't he a horseman?
Oh, one.
He did become a horseman. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, that's where the berserker type thing came, right?
And he was he became Weapon Omega at some point. I think when he became a horseman.
And they mentioned this, but Omega level mutants are the most powerful.
Yeah.
You know.
And that came from 1995. The next one we see is Patch, which is an alter ego Logan takes on in the underground of Madripoor.
Mm-hmm.
And this persona was first seen in Wolverine #1 in 1988.
Yeah, and he's like an ace card shark.
Yeah.
And then they had Patch do a lot of storylines with Joe Fixit.
Yeah.
Was the crime, like the Hitman Hulk. Those were such cool storylines. Yeah. That don't like each other.
The fourth one we see is working on his motorcycle. We'll get to him last, actually. Then we see Old Man Logan on his porch with his hat and his shotgun. Old Man Logan was created by Mark Millar and Steve McNiven, and that ran in 2008 to 2009.
Which was pretty accurately depicted in Wolverine Origins, I think, whatever. But like, yeah, the dynamic between Logan's actual dad and anyways, I digress.
Then we have Crucified Wolverine. This comes from the cover of Uncanny X-Men number 251 in 1989. And he was crucified by mutant hunters known as Reavers.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the Sea of Skulls.
Yeah.
That's from that. Brown Suit Wolvie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looked so good. The suit.
I'm sorry. I just like, it's crazy how much all of these comic accurate suits look pretty good.
They look good. Even the mask.
Like without, like, I don't know. They somehow the code has been cracked to make comic accurate suits on screen not look really, really dumb.
Right.
Texture.
Like, look like
It's
clothing.
textured fabric
Yeah.
and layers.
But at the same time, it has a more realness than, say, like Superman's one-piece molded bodysuit that Snyder put him in. It's like his mom did not make that. But yeah, like these look like costumes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not in a good way. Natural.
So the brown suit debuted in Uncanny X-Men number 139 in 1980. It was a suit that Wolverine put on when he wanted to do something not X-Men related.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because I'm sure he did fight the Hulk, but he debuted in a Hulk comic and he was in his original blue and yellow the first time they fought.
The first time they fought was in 1974.
The Summer of Love.
But then the classic cover showing Hulk's face reflected in brown suit Wolvie's claws was from The Incredible Hulk number 340 in 1987.
I think that was McFarlane. No, maybe not. No,
I'm not sure. I don't have
But
that.
anyways.
They
Yeah,
all
it-
looked so happy to be remaking that cover of all the covers too.
Yeah.
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 And they didn't just leave the reflect, like, then Deadpool turns and interacts with him.
Yeah.
And finally, not from comics, but the Cavalrine
Yes.
working on his motorcycle. Looks so good.
He did. He could easily play Wolverine.
Yeah, he could.
In 30 years.
Yeah.
Move on. Excuse me. Moving on to the Deadpool variants. List is considerably longer. I've gone into considerably less detail. The first one we see is Dogpool.
Yep.
And Dogpool first appeared in Prelude to Deadpool Core number 3 in March of 2010. He's a dog version of Deadpool.
Yep.
Most of the names speak for themselves.
And it's so funny that like the dog appears so much in the movie just to deliver that like scene where Wolfie uses it to stop the shooting. You know what I mean? Like all he has to do is hold up the dog and he stopped. Finally delivered on the dog thing.
So many outtakes of that dog just going to town on Ryan Reynolds' mouth.
Do you know why, right?
They put some food in
salmon paste in his mouth. Salmon paste.
Yeah.
Next one we see is Nice Pool, made up for this movie, I'm pretty sure. Played by Ryan Reynolds' made up identical twin Gordon Reynolds.
I mean, I'm glad that he winked at what he is, which he's pretty good about that. He doesn't take himself super seriously, but it's like, you did just turn to the camera and look lovable.
And say the proposal.
My favorite admission from God, that's so bitch. You think that's what I do?
Yeah.
I watched or listened to the director's commentary, and it had Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy on there, and the armor costume that they gave Nice Pool was the armor they were developing for Deadpool's third look.
Wow.
And everyone was like, why are you doing that? Stop. And they ended up using it for Nice Pool, and they were like, we're so glad that we had like an off ramp for it, because we were getting really excited.
But the new look.
I think that's really funny though, that they debated remaking the character even before reaching this like multiversal story.
I liked how this is 2 movies in a row for us, including adaptation of fake identical twin brothers.
Yeah.
Yep. And all of the like Robert McKay, you should never do this screenplay stuff is just is the movie breaking every single one of those rules.
Yeah.
Narration, talking to the camera, twin. Yeah. Anyway.
Then the Deadpool Core, which came out in 2010, 12 issues of the Deadpool Core.
Mm-hmm.
And these are just the ones from the movie. I know Lady Pool was in comics.
Well, do you know real quick? Did you know that the artist who designed Lady Pool had been watching Gossip Girl, like binging, and he based her on Blake Lively. No joke.
Nice.
Yes.
And Blake Lively played Lady Pool.
So crazy.
Voice anyway.
Yeah. It's on. It seems she probably wasn't in the costume.
I love that. It's like, yes, my beautiful wife can be in it, but you can't see her. She's gonna have a mask on.
Okay, so running down real quick, we got Lady Pool, Kid Pool, Baby Pool.
Kid Pool, played by Inez Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds' kid.
Yep.
Kiddie Pool. That's what they should go with. That's the thing.
Kiddie Pool, yeah.
Baby Pool, played by Olin Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds' other kid.
Nepo Pool.
Yeah.
The disembodied zombie head variant, Head Pool, voiced by Nathan Fillion. Cowboy Pool, voiced by Matthew McConaughey. Watari, who is Deadpool as a Ronin. Deadpool 2099, Golden Age Deadpool. Pirate Pool, Scottish Pool, I did not write down Welsh Pool.
Welsh Pool, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rob McElhenney was the soccer, the Wrexham. Isn't that their team?
Yeah. Wrexham.
Mac from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds.
He filmed a cameo in this that got cut.
Yeah.
Welsh Pool is played by one of their, is it someone associated with Wrexham, Paul Mullen, who I assume is actually Welsh.
Short Pool, King Pool, Cupid Pool. I still have not picked out some of these like on screen, but Greatest Showman Pool, Greatest Showman Deadpool,
Yeah.
and Detective Pool.
One you missed, Al. Canada Pool,
Oh yes, I did miss Canada Pool.
played by
Dang it! Wait.
Canada Pool was played by Ryan Reynolds' stunt double.
Oh, that's what happened. I skipped a line. Welsh Pool, Canada Pool, Zen Pool, Harold Pool, and the rest.
They omitted one that I always liked, which was Mascot Pool, where it was like Deadpool in a like Disney character type or sports mascot outfit.
Harold Pool was portrayed by the younger brother of Tom Holland, Harry Holland.
Tom's like, fuck you. You got to do it on your own.
Harry Holland.
Harry Holland. Yeah, I met her when I was over in the Netherlands.
And that's it.
Harry Thundercunt, by the way, is my favorite male stripper.
Oh, so much.
So, all right.
You're not going to do Cassandra's crew, Al?
I didn't write down the whole list, so I just have to go from memory. There's Pyro.
Yeah, we can point them out because I have some questions about them.
Yes,
about a couple of them.
Some are played by original actors, some are not.
One thing I didn't know, I knew Mr. Paradox was from the comics, but apparently Mr. Paradox is Mobius, the Owen Wilson character in the books.
Okay. Huh.
He's a judge for the TVR like Renslayer was. And
I forgot to look him up.
He becomes Mr. Paradox later. He doesn't have any powers. I saw a fan theory, which I watched it slowly, and she doesn't have it on, but some fans were like, wouldn't it be cool if she left the slingy in Paradox's head, making him a powerful?
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would have been fun. But.
All right. Well, thank you, Al. That brings us to the production of the film itself. The film is directed by Sean Levy, who has been working with Ryan Reynolds for the last few years. Adam Project, Free Guy. He worked with Hugh Jackman on Real Steel in 2011. So he has relationships with both of the leads there.
Seeing interviews with him about this, like he has a man crush on Ryan Reynolds that is almost adorable. He just gushes. He's like, I just love it. I love it. Good for him.
He got his start. He directed Just in Time. That was his first big one, although he also did one called Address Unknown, which was not a very well-known film. He went on to direct Big Fat Liar, starring Freddie Muniz. Cheaper by the Dozen, The Pink Panther, Night at the Museum. He did Date Night in 2010.
Did he do the first Night at the Museum?
He did, yeah.
Wow.
He did all three Night at the Museums.
Yeah, I knew his name before this one.
Yeah.
He wasn't unknown by any means.
Yeah. The Internship. So, yeah, like mostly known as a kind of comic and comic action director. So this is,
right.
a good fit for him, of course.
You're also a utility director. Like, he's going to deliver what you asked him to.
Yeah, yeah. Before his films, he started as a television director. Looks like a lot of like Disney stuff. The Famous Jet Jackson, The Secret World of Alex Mack.
A very cool Christmas.
Jet Jackson the movie. Ooh.
Oh, it's getting real, folks.
He did direct an episode of The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. He directed 8 episodes of Stranger Things. So,
right.
I think he was a producer for all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's involved with making Stranger Things happen.
Yeah, for sure. Our writing credits include, of course, Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds. We also have Rhett Reese in there. Rhett Reese was a writer on both the other Deadpool movies. We've talked about him before. He did a lot of he did the Zombieland movies, Cruel Intentions 3, G.I. Joe Retaliation. He seems to basically kind of be a comic screenwriter for hire. Paul Wernick is also on here. He's a writing partner with Rhett Reese. And our last writing credit goes to Zeb Wells. Zeb Wells mostly was a comic book writer, a Marvel comic book writer. He wrote for Spider-Man, a lot of Spider-Man titles. Venage. I combined Venom and Carnage. Venage.
For your insurance needs.
But yeah, he wrote some Fantastic Four titles, Elektra, X-Men. So he also has wrote a fair amount of TV stuff, not a lot of film, but he did have a co-writer credit on the Marvels, Deadpool and Wolverine, of course. He was a writer on some She-Hulk episodes, a bunch of Robot Chicken stuff he did. So that is our writing credits there. Now, this film, Tim Miller was the original director of Deadpool. He, of course, ended up having trouble with Ryan Reynolds and left. David Leitch directed Deadpool 2, but he was not invited back for Deadpool 3. They started work on this almost immediately after Deadpool 2. They were planning on spinning off X-Force into its own film. And they actually began working on that. They wanted to kind of create at the time, a Marvel R brand series of films was their idea.
Red Band.
Not a bad idea still.
Mm-hmm.
No, it disproved it.
Yeah. They were focused on X-Force for that, but then, of course, Fox was sold to Disney. And so so Ryan Reynolds suddenly had to go meet with Kevin Feige to talk about what they were going to be doing.
I hope that was a humbling experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's the only guy with a boat that was still floating at Fox, though. Everything else was like just a carcass of a movie franchise, and he's the only one who had something left to bring over.
That's true, but Kevin Feige has no problem with killing it in its crib.
Oh, that's
true. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, oh, you were successful? I don't care.
Apparently, Ryan Reynolds pitched like 20 different films to Feige for Deadpool 3. The sale absolutely killed the X-Force. That was not going to happen after the sale, but Feige was absolutely open to Deadpool 3. And so he pitched everything from a low-budget road trip movie with just Deadpool and Dopinder.
No.
Apparently a full musical with Wolverine in it. A jukebox musical, like full on. Apparently the big dance number was going to be Wolverine singing. I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
He apparently was pitching a lot of Wolverine Deadpool team ups. This is in large part because at some point, Hugh Jackman, who was friends with Ryan Reynolds in real life, had what he calls a sudden epiphany that he wanted to continue being Wolverine, and he wanted to play Wolverine with Deadpool specifically.
Awesome.
That's what they're calling divorce these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The script basically came about as a way of teaming up Deadpool and Wolverine and bringing them into the MCU. It's all fairly, straightforward as far as like how they got to where they got to. So some of the people that they considered bringing in as cameos or asked or refused include Patrick Stewart. They approached him about being in it. He said no after Multiverse of Madness, basically.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Smart move. You didn't need Charles in this.
Yeah.
An off-screen character worked excellently.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. They did ask, they did write and ask for Robert Downey Jr. to appear in the scene with Happy Hogan. He turned it down. It seems like it was probably on the advice of Kevin Feige that he turned it down due to what we now know is happening as him being Dr. Doom.
Well, I don't know. Both Tony and Robert Downey Jr. suck the air out of a room. Mm-hmm. Like, they're the guy in the room. Like Deadpool playing off Happy works. There's no way Deadpool could be more snappy.
They talked about writing a scene with Robert because they wrote that scene like a bunch of different ways.
Robert.
Right? That's weird. But as they're leaving, you just pass him in the hallway. Like, oh, hey, like, oh, sorry, we got to go. The classic Tony Stark shake off, kind of like he doesn't like accepting things from people.
And
that
Deadpool's
was as like
gobsmacked.
Yeah, and that was as minimized as it got, I think, if he was still in the scene. I'm like, oh, I actually like that. I liked Happy being like, no, I'm actually handling you. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't think it would have hurt anything, but I think it was smart not to. And it gave the Chris Evans cameo a little more oomph.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's true.
So they originally actually wrote that scene as including the entire core Avengers team, all six of them. It was deemed as being too difficult and expensive. Yes.
Yeah.
To get
the fuck are they gonna do? What are they they're interview him together?
Yeah, like and all six of them.
Who would
back.
prune them?
Like it's The Voice.
Yeah,
like
who would prune the Avengers?
I think that was the idea. It was like the Avengers doing like a voice style like audition for Deadpool. Yeah, exactly. So let's see. The few early drafts did have Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Again, better that it was just her.
Yep.
Worth it for the joke too.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, it's worth it for the joke.
Fine.
And you know that Ben Affleck thinks that shit is hilarious because that's his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely. And there definitely were discussions of having Jon Favreau play dual roles of Happy Hogan and Foggy.
Oh, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah. So let's see. That's most of the discussed cameos. They, of course, were discussions about having Mephisto appear. As the main antagonist before they settle on Cassandra.
As the main antagonist,
Mm-hmm.
the devil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No,
but
the whole void thing works so perfectly.
yeah, exactly. So, as far as our cast goes, there is almost no one that we haven't discussed before in this, of course, in the roles they play. Ryan
Right.
Reynolds is back as Deadpool, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Emma Corrin plays Cassandra Nova. That is one of our new people. Emma Corrin. Let's see. She did a lot of. She did a number of kind of small films. Lady Chatterley's Lover. She was in a number of TV shows. She was in Pennyworth. She played Esma Winnicus.
Jesus, most British I've heard.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
She played Diana, Princess of Wales, in season 4 of The Crown. Oh, and I'm sorry, my mistake. Emma has they/them pronouns, so they also played Anna Harding in Nosferatu, which, by all accounts, is really good, but I haven't seen yet. So a very new person in the scene.
And that was another wise choice.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. A basically unknown person.
If you're going to introduce a new character, yeah, I don't know. It was smart.
Yeah. And this is someone, and you know what? All of our talk of nepotism, Emma Corrin doesn't have anyone involved in the industry.
Good for her.
They are, of course, from upper class British society.
Right, I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. But, okay, whatever. We'll take what we can get at this point, I feel like. Marina Baccarin is back as Vanessa. Rob Delaney back as Peter. Leslie Uggams back as Blind Al. Aaron Stanford reprising his role from X-Men Last Stand as Pyro.
I was happy to see one of the original cast come back.
There's a few. We got Sabretooth too.
Yeah, Toad.
That's true. And Toad.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that
Toad was not
the
played.
Fox properties were pruned more than other
Yes,
characters.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Toad was not played by Ray
Park.
Yeah, Ray Park.
Bummer.
Half the time I want
for good reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Matthew McFadden plays Mr. Paradox. Matthew McFadden.
I know him from Succession.
Yeah. That's probably his most well-known role.
He's Mr. Darcy. What are you talking about? If there are any women listening, which I doubt, he's Mr. Darcy.
He did play Mr. Darcy in 2005's Pride and Prejudice. Yes.
But I am always
He
Team
played Pride.
Wamsgans. I will always be.
played
Jeremy and I
Prejudice.
both are very proud of our Tom's gonna win in Succession call
Yeah.
before the last season. Yeah, I was very, very gratified with that.
Matthew McFadden is known for other movies, Death at a Funeral, Frost Nixon. Those, probably the biggest ones there. Let's see. We've got back all of the in a pretty small way. We've got back all of the other Deadpool cast. Karan Sani's back as Dopinder. Brianna.
No TJ Miller, though.
What's that?
No TJ Miller.
No TJ Miller. Nope.
You can only have two sarcastic pricks on the set.
Yeah. Brianna Hildebrand back as Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Shiola Kutsaria back as Yukio. Stefan Kapsid back as the voice of Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Louis Tan as Shatterstar. Taylor Maine is reprised his role as Sabretooth from the first X-Men movie.
I'm surprised Wolverine didn't mention Colossus when he showed him the photo of, everyone he loves. Like, oh, you're friends with Colossus? All right, never mind.
That is actually really funny.
Yeah,
I mean, the
it is.
X-Men exist in that world, but like that they're friends.
But yeah, having him say like, "Is that Piotr? What?"
Yeah.
There are a ton of quiet lines like that throughout this movie. That would have been a great one to add.
Deadpool's been to the mansion and everything.
Yeah. Let's see.
Which is funny about his ableist comment when she stands out of the chair, because he's riding Professor X's chair when he's at the mansion.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Deadpool contains multitudes, man.
Oh, I know.
He does. He does not worry at all about being a hypocrite ever.
No, he's not supposed to.
Aaron Reed played Juggernaut. That is not Juggernaut, the actor that played Juggernaut in any of the films.
More like Juggernaut. No, that didn't.
Juggernaut.
No, Juggernauts is still better.
Yeah. Mike Waters plays the Blob, or plays Blob, not the Blob. He's a professional wrestler.
Oh, he's the guy manning the gates at
Yeah.
Plymouth Falls?
Yeah.
Okay. The guy with the protruding sack belly.
Yep.
Like, that's not a blob. That's a beer gut. I'm sorry. It's not a mutant ability. You're an uncle.
Eduardo Gago Munoz played Azazel. Jade Lai played Lady Deathstrike. We did not get Olivia Munn back.
Sad.
Yeah.
She's making Mulaney babies.
Yeah.
Honestly, she would have probably been the best out of all of the cameos to have been the like recognizable face.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Does anybody know who the dude in the sailor striped shirt is supposed to be?
That
They show
is
him a lot.
supposed to be the Russian from Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you.
He's the guy that Punisher kills in his little weird loft.
I just couldn't, because I knew the costume was a choice and they showed him a lot.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
I think the Punisher universes got burned a lot.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're just shooting people in the face. You didn't even.
Well, no, that was the line he said. They said something about the Punisher, and Deadpool says, "Which one?"
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been like 5 of them, I think.
And enough have been in the void to leave weapons and gear behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that, yeah, each one is like a little cache of ammunition and guns.
Mm-hmm.
This Punisher would totally murder an anchor bee.
Oh, yeah. Punisher he'll murder anybody.
A henchman with a tray of champagne flutes.
I love the TVA showing up and him being like, no, fuck that. I'm killing this guy.
Right, I'm shooting him in the head.
Aisha Hussein plays Psylocke. Daniel Medina Ramos plays Toad. Curtis Small is Bullseye. Chloe Kibble plays Callisto. Jessica Walter plays Arclight. Nellie Seaton plays Quill.
Yeah,
It's not the Jessica Walters, because she passed away, but Jessica Walters is the name of Blue. Lucille Blue.
Yeah.
Isn't that? Oh no, she's not.
Jessica Walker.
Oh, that was Jessica Walters. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. I don't know why.
Yeah. Let's see. Daphne Keane returns as X-23.
She's another one that has like openly said like anytime you want.
Yeah.
I'll be X-23 anytime you want.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer Garner returns as Elektra. Elektra Nachios. You know, Greek Jennifer Garner.
I forgot about that.
Wesley Snipes returns as Blade. Let's see. Chris Evans reprising his role as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
So good.
Yeah,
fucking good.
They apparently did approach or put out feelers for what's his face? Van Forstick.
Pedro?
Oh, Risa Fons? Not Risa Fons. What's the other guy's name?
Oh, I know who you mean, but the other Reed?
Yeah. Or no.
Yeah.
No. For the other Johnny.
Oh.
Who was played
Michael
by Michael B. Jordan.
I was
right.
like, all of a sudden, I'm like,
Right.
wait, Michael Chiklis is coming?
No, Michael B. Jordan.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, they wanted to have both those Johnnies
The
in.
commission.
Yeah.
I hear that we might see the Council of Reeds in Doomsday.
I fucking hope so. I
hope so,
If they
too.
sleep on the Council of Reeds thing, especially after teasing the Council of Kangs.
It's like, how egotistical do you have to be like, this Illuminati I formed is not smart enough?
Right. Apparently, Halle Berry approached Blake Lively at a fashion show and told her that she would be open to returning as Storm. She was she
fandom
was
in the
not,
hands of Blake Lively.
Yeah, she was not asked. Ryan Reynolds did not ask her.
Yeah, I'm sure they could have
Really?
gotten James Marsden.
Sure.
That sucks. I would have loved to see more of the X-Men. I would have liked to see one or two of the X-Men on
Yeah,
this team.
they could have even done it like like Tony Stark's visions, where the body Wolverine comes home to find the bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we go back to that flashback, but it's just the aftermath.
It's just always felt like there's a fucking X-Men sized hole in these Deadpool movies. Even when
Yeah.
there wasn't, even when they
great
were
way to
all
put it.
hiding on the other side of that fucking rolling door to like welcome Wade to the team or whatever. It just, yeah, it's like we're dancing around the shadows of the X-Men. Like, just show me a fucking X-Man. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's true. We got a lot of X-Men villains, but we got, there were a lot
Other
more
than
characters.
Colossus.
Right, which is why it's funny he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
There's no need to say anything.
Let's see. Channing Tatum as Gambit. Remy LeBeau.
Apparently another one
cher.
of those like Deadpool where he just wanted to play the character so bad.
He tried to get a Gambit film made for many years. He was
Shortly after this came out, he and Zoe Kravitz broke up, and I saw like a comment that was like, because he just wouldn't stop using the Gambit voice at home.
yeah,
I would never stop either.
I shot at him on Dad's dick, ready.
I love that.
Bonet's daughter's like, I'm not into this.
Yeah, I love that he does like a full like X-Men 97 level Gambit.
Totally.
Yeah,
like when you see it in real life, you're like, that headpiece is ridiculous.
completely ridiculous.
It just hides your ears. Are you worried about cauliflower ear?
The head sock?
Yeah, it's like my identity is obvious.
Is it? Oh no, this is not our first Channing Tatum film.
No, definitely not.
Well, I mean, there's only been one that I can see on this list.
Really?
Which one?
Yeah, he hasn't been in another superhero movie.
The Rise of Cobra.
G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra is the only
was in
Channing Tatum film we've done on the show. Yeah,
With what's his face from Third Rock from the Sun? Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah.
yeah.
Was he in that?
I don't remember. I barely remember G.I. Joe: The Rise of
I was
Cobra.
gonna. That's one my brain pushed out to hold other information.
He turned into Cobra Commander.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, Channing Tatum. Yeah, that's it, which is crazy because it's Channing Tatum. 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street are amazing. I mean, until we get to my series that I pick and we do all the Magic Mics, then we'll have plenty of Channing Tatum.
Yeah. 21 Jump Street. Yeah, those were really funny movies.
Yeah.
And his cameo in This Is the End.
Yes, incredible as like the Gimp.
The Gimp, Danny McBride. So
Yes. But no, I will never forget the first time I saw Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill sticking their fingers down each other's throats. Like, finger my throat and I'll finger yours. But they're trying to make each other puke because they accidentally took drugs at school.
on Kimmy Schmidt, one of the characters explains how you turn gay, which is watching Magic Mike during a thunderstorm.
We already...
You don't have to be in a vat of Magic Mike DVDs.
You have to
You fall into a
it.
vat of magic Mike TV.
I thought you were going to say DNA, Al, for a moment there.
No, it's just the object that you fall into. Sand, you're going to be sand. Eels, you're going to be eels.
We already mentioned all of the Wolverine and Deadpool cameos. Jon Favreau, of course, is back as Happy Hogan.
So perfect. Like, and you're the dry. Like, he wants to impress him, but he can't help but make fun of him.
Yeah.
I'm the guy. No.
Wunmi Mosaku as Hunter B-15 from. We actually haven't talked about her before because Loki was not a movie.
Yeah.
No, just
talked
a
about her a lot.
series.
Not on the pod.
Yeah. Although no. She was in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was in that Lovecraft show on HBO, and she was really good.
God, that's that one episode with the skin changing.
When she changes into a white lady.
Oh, still freaks me out when I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most visceral, like, special effects I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Technically, Chris Hemsworth is credited as Thor.
I mean, he is crying. He's putting in a performance.
Yeah.
And we don't have that scene, right? They didn't just replace Deadpool with somebody else, or did they?
No. That was an outtake from Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When Loki died, or
Yeah.
okay.
And there is a Stanley Steamer ad featuring Stan Lee on the side of the bus during the battle.
Yep. Squeak Spy as a cameo.
Yep. I feel like since Stan went, have they stopped in the mainline MCU films? I can't think of Stan Lee little Easter eggs or cameos they've been putting in.
They don't do images of him anymore. No.
Yeah, which is too bad.
Lame.
It's too bad. Yeah, they should.
Just stick him in.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if maybe there is, because these movies are so damn big and HD and shit. Somebody's probably putting a Stan Lee on a desk in the background of some scene, you know?
Yeah.
Like the Netflix shows used to do with a photo of him on the wall or whatever.
I mean, Jesus is all over his book. I mean, you got to put the creator in there.
Of course, let's briefly discuss the soundtrack.
And real quick, I'm sorry. Stan Lee loved Deadpool because a lot of people don't know how foul-mouthed Stan Lee actually was.
Yes.
He always wanted to get a little more adult.
He loved Liefeld.
Yeah, he did. Weirdly,
he took him right under his wing and thought that he was fascinating and the genius.
My most disliked artist.
Yeah.
Also, which is good to note that there is a Rob Liefeld Easter egg in this.
Yep.
Oh,
Liefeld's just feet.
Just feet.
Because he couldn't draw feet.
Yeah, his feet were terrible. They just tapered down to a point.
He just didn't.
I mean, I've seen
he's capable of doing it.
I've seen some of the feet he's drawn. They're not good feet. They're bad feet. They're feet like
they taper down to a point. Yeah. To a point.
You've probably seen it, Josh. The video of him and was it McFarlane? They're talking about like, this is how we draw comics, and Stan's there with them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, draw me a guy that looks like this guy. And they're going fucking crazy on it. It is one of my favorite pieces of like early 90s nostalgia with Stan Lee being.
I'm going to have to look at I must have because
prime.
I saw the Image Comics documentary.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. It's like Disney's like, Stan Lee always supported his artists and appreciated them. But at the end of the day, he's like, I own that.
Yeah,
that's what
thank you for drawing that for me.
It wasn't so much about money or benefits or unionizing. It was like, I want to own these fucking things I make.
Yeah,
it's like when you get on a cooking competition show, anything you make belongs to the show.
Oh God,
any recipe?
But I want to eat it.
The recipe.
Liefeld was talking to Stan Lee because he kept adding all this stuff, and he goes like, oh well, the middle is the important thing. It's the least detailed. I think he's like talking about it being the least detailed, dense thing. because you need to like draw the eye to it. He's like, that's why feet don't matter. He said something about the feet in there, and it was like he's like 20 years old, and I remember being like, oh, he is choosing. It's like feet don't matter. None of that matters because it's never in the middle of the frame.
He has
that
said
was kind
that
of
he's
his,
never
like,
gotten the hang of drawing people.
yeah. He's like, I draw pockets and pointy toes
and hair. Remember Todd McFarlane's webbing, Spider-Man webbing? Like that must have taken days on its own.
Oh my God, yeah.
I just think about the veins on Cable's neck in that era.
Yeah, he liked veins and he liked huge boobs,
padded shoulders,
tiny
with pads
waist.
on the pads.
Oh yeah, he did like pads. Cable got pads.
That shit's so cool now. God, it was so lame 15 years ago, and now I'm like, God damn, man, this is like.
It's funny when I criticize fanboys now because I was so pretentious when it came to loved properties.
So much shit has elevated to the level of like Mobius in my mind now, where I'm like, damn, that's like inspired, man. And I'm like, it's just some guy who's fucking drinking beer at 9 a.m. drawing shit because he's on a deadline. Fuck.
Yeah, like Gary Larson, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
This is something I can kind of do, and I'm doing it.
Yeah, not everybody can be Bill Watterson and be fucking Socrates, you know, or whatever the fuck.
Right. Some of us are just John Romita Jr.
Yeah.
Come to work, deliver.
So, okay. So real fast, the Deadpool and Wolverine original motion picture soundtrack.
Oh my God. I gotta say, the needle drops are so good in a movie like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, all the way from Bye Bye Bye, which is our big opener. Angel of the Morning.
The dog gets some really good songs.
Yeah. Iris, Goo Goo Dolls.
The Iris needle drop is so fucking funny.
The Power of Love, of course. Speaking of Huey Lewis, You Belong to Me, Patsy Cline, Lady in Red. That's
Christopher Cross.
Yes. No,
we haven't heard much from him because he's stuck.
Chris de Burgh.
Oh, I thought it was Christopher Cross. My bad. I was gonna say he's stuck between the moon and New York City.
Yeah. I'm With You, the third single, the forgotten third single from Avril Lavigne's first album.
Oh,
after Complicated and
again,
Skater Boy.
If you were a white woman, no one forgot that song.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, she made pop hits.
That song is like a anthem that women scream. It's crazy to me because I didn't give a shit about Avril Lavigne, and I'm like that age, you know.
No, neither did I.
You know.
Hey guys, how's Avril doing?
Like, yeah, is she okay? She's like a blight on punk rock when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I heard that song a lot, and I heard a lot of white girls singing it.
But you know
it's
what?
a good choice for the scene.
You know what? She was a 16-year-old Canadian girl.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I'll make this music. I don't care. And by all accounts, she tried to make her music more authentic. Like she was writing her own songs, and of course her producers brought in like songwriters to like, you know, make hits for her. And she was like, no, you have to change these lyrics. She made them change take off all your stupid clothes to take off all your preppy clothes, because, you know, she was authentic.
Yeah.
But she was a 16-year-old Canadian girl in 2001. I mean,
I was going to say, and in all of the 90s and the early 2000s, just having a chick in your band was, I don't know, like awesome and incredible. And so, yeah, all that disposable punk rock, just like Paramore and shit like that.
The Pixies and
Courtney Love.
Yeah, the Pixies and Sonic Youth started it. Like, get a chick in your band, you'll be cooler.
Or the Talking Heads.
Talking Heads. Oh fuck.
All of those women can bring it.
Fuck yeah.
It's not like put a punk rock looking chick in front of the mic.
Yeah.
Or behind.
But
stand in front of the mic, kids. Free tip.
And of course, Like a Prayer. Madonna's Like a Prayer, heavily featured. And
if you don't like Madonna, you're sus.
Madonna is like the 80s superstar that I feel has been the most forgotten since like the ascendance of like Prince and Michael Jackson. Like Madonna was on the same level as them back then.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of the artists that helped make MTV a thing. I mean, she had Danny Aiello in the Poppin' Preach, and it was just the right kind of pop music.
Yeah.
You need Madonnas. You need Taylor Swifts in
Yeah,
Avril
you
Lavigne.
do. Yeah, you do. Those 12-year-old girls need someone that they can sing along with and that speaks to them. They need it too.
Well, and so we can be highfalutin about other artists.
Yeah,
you know, you need a barometer. Everybody's a genius.
You don't want
It's
12-year-old girls talking about of Montreal and fucking Loudon Wainwright III.
Yeah. Have you listened to Neutral Milk Hotel? Have you?
They sound like Wes Anderson movies look.
And he's as gay as it. The day is long.
And of course, over the credits, we have "Good Riddance, Time of Your Life" by Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day.
And You're the One That I Want.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Grease, the soundtrack.
So Ryan Reynolds was talking about over the end credits for the movie. They call everybody if they made a joke about them in the movie or if they use their song or whatever.
I like that. That's a Weird Al integrity.
Yeah, just like a normal human connection kind of thing, you know. It's important still. But Ryan Reynolds called Green Day to thank them for letting them use the song like 5 minutes after they all got out of the theater, like coincidentally. So he got all three members of Green Day super hyped after watching the movie and hearing their song and then walking out of the theater. It's like, damn, that's really cool for him. This is about as good as this experience is ever going to get for that.
You know that Billy Joe hung up the phone and was like, "That's why we wrote that song." It's in a lot of movies.
Money.
It plays.
It's a movie song.
It plays at every high school graduation slideshow montage ever.
And it's good. We needed one. Instead of weird boomer attachments to pop culture.
Vietnam
Good riddance.
references and shit.
Yeah.
Constantly. Yeah.
No,
I
ours
know
is just
you're not
like,
a fortunate son. I get it.
This song came 3 songs after a song about jerking off.
Good riddance.
Alone in my room.
And there is an explainer song on the soundtrack. It's Slash by the Stray Kids, which are a K-pop band, and it's entirely in Korean. But it does seem to be an explainer song in Korean.
There's no mind
Well,
song.
I'm glad that the Korean audiences have the extra explainer.
They do that thing. There's apparently like some lines in English, like just random lines, and some of the ones which let's see, some of them are after all the Korean lines, we get to assassinate, quietly dominate, I terminate, rise up, levitate, I'll color the night stars the color of my heart.
But
Victorious silence. They know that I'm violence.
That
I
just
like
putting
that.
a K-pop artist or band anywhere in your movie like opens up the Asian market.
That one from Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters Frozen Empire,
that shit slaps.
They fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, and we can't quite fathom how popular those bands are. In their areas, you know.
Yeah.
We thought
it's
New Kids
interesting.
on the Block or NSYNC were a big deal.
Deadpool's had a lot of music throughout, and he's always kind of been like a bad music aficionado, you know, like schlocky bullshit.
Yeah,
You know
Little
what's
River
missing
Band.
is the dubstep thing. And like anything like that. I was like, wait, this like musically from each movie, thematically, it's kind of all over the place. Like just kind of this like lumpy, they're all over the place, all three of the movies.
Isn't it an NSYNC song that he's dancing
Bye,
to?
bye, bye. Yeah. That's in sync. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is all like millennial pop. The middle one is like Deadpool loves just dubstep.
Yeah.
And the first one is kind of the same jukebox Celine Dion musical stuff. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. No, I mean, he does he's around the same age as me, Josh, and Al. And there's a lot of 90s popping, all three of these.
But and you can tell that Deadpool appreciates that kind of music, the bubblegum pop
Yeah.
type shit.
Yeah.
And then also like the one that I want.
Yeah.
Grease. That's a good song, and there are good songs on that soundtrack. But who puts it on?
You know what's funny? I just looked it up. I had to double check. So Ryan Reynolds is your age. You know how old his wife is? My age.
Oh, that's funny.
So like NSYNC and stuff like that, while popular for your guys' generation, was insane for kids who were 11 and 12. Like
they broke right as we were turning like drinking age and adult type age. So
like,
we all knew about the boy bands, but
we're like,
it wasn't
what the
fuck? It wasn't
even on radio stations we listened
high school grads or college students. Really, it was for
the millennials,
preteens.
The millennials, right smack dab in the middle of our ages. The ones, because like we're late 40s, Brian's late 30s. The ones that are currently early 40s, they were the NSYNC one generation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
we already knew they were compiled products. That boy bands were put together.
But yeah, middle school is like that target audience, and high school students, and it's just crazy to see like
you need shit to dance to.
I remember when I was in middle school, New Kids on the Block were the biggest thing on earth, and the girls lost their fucking minds.
My sister was cuckoo, and like my mother also just loved music, but everybody got to play their music and we had to be cool about it, so I couldn't make fun or give my sister a hard time, but Jesus Christ, I knew the words to every song.
They are hanging
Not hard
tough.
to learn.
They were hanging tough.
Those damn songs.
New Kids on the Block, Milli Vanilli, Belle Biv DeVoe was a couple years later, I think.
And they were more legit, but that's what I meant, is that we knew New Kids and we knew Milli Vanilli and we knew what the...
I remember at a 7th grade dance, dancing to Blame It on the Rain with a girl. First time I ever danced with a girl.
Oh my gosh, if I want my wiener touched, I'm a fan of whatever you're a fan of. Let's go buy that album.
Napalm Death, let's do it.
Right.
That's about it for the background of Deadpool and Wolverine. It has 78% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, 94% audience score. I've got a few letterbox reviews here. David Chen, actual film critic David Chen, writes, this movie is mostly a delightful cameo and joke delivery system, but what I appreciated is the way it's similar to Spider-Man No Way Home. Both movies try to take the shitty decisions made by films past and redeem them. I think they both nailed it.
Yeah. Like making fun of it and revering it at the same time. Mm-hmm. Mel Brooks pulled that off a lot. But it's tough. Deadpool has mad respect for the MCU, but then we'll turn to the camera and just talk about what shit it is. That's when you can criticize something, when you love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's why I got so mad at the couple talking during A Complete Unknown. It's like, I want to see this kid. I want to hear this kid.
Yeah.
I want to see how much he takes this seriously.
Yeah, no, only fans of things can make fun of things without it. Yeah.
And boy, do we.
Let's see. Letterboxd user Connor Eats Pants writes, guy sitting next to me in a Deadpool graphic tee dropped his soda on the couple in front of us, apologized, left, and never came back.
He's reviewing his life.
3 stars.
Something I saw. That's a diary entry, Holmes.
Letterboxd user Britannia writes, not bad. 5 stars.
Yeah, to make an account.
and Mad Lad Supreme writes, hell nah, they done gentrified my boy Dead Poop. Half a star.
No, they didn't.
Is
Yeah.
I think it's a very natural arc for the character.
Mm-hmm.
He has reached an age, even though he's almost immortal, where he's reflecting on, like, did I do any good? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they gentrified him.
No.
they gentrified Deadpool? What does that even mean?
Yeah, first of all, it's an improper use of that.
Like,
There was
because he lives in a
rundown.
brownstone in like a soundstage.
There was a rundown Deadpool, and it was bought by Starbucks. And
Because I mean, he did used to live in like the back of a trailer with Weird Al, like a double wide stacked on another double wide.
I wish she was Weird Al.
Not Weird
I
Al.
wish Weird Al was just in these movies as a Deadpool's friend, playing
It would not
himself.
make any
playing himself.
less sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is exactly what this movie did from a narrative standpoint. Is it provided the answer of variance?
Yeah.
You know, like other universe. There can't be any unanswered questions because the answer is
Variant. Yeah, it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
It's
Is that Captain America? No, variant.
No, variant.
Yeah.
Why would this Deadpool do this? Variant.
I don't know. Fourth wall break. Yeah. Variant, fourth wall break. You. There's no way to get around that. It's variants and fourth wall breaks.
The weirdest one was mentioning Batman. He's like, I love the mask. It's like Batman, but you can move your neck.
Yeah.
So is Batman a person or a fictional character?
He mentioned Batman in Deadpool 2 also.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he acknowledges the DCU with Cavill, but
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, he clearly can be I think Batman is, I don't know if DC Comics are fictional comics in the Marvel universe or if it's just fourth wall breaking.
yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just fourth wall breaking. Like he's just talking
Or
to us
if-
in our universe.
That Batman and Superman are just so ubiquitous, like Mickey Mouse or
Yeah.
Elvis. Like it's not even them anymore.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, you ready to jump into the movie?
Pew pew.
Mew.
That's right. He does thwip, thwip, thwip at one point because they can't talk about Spider-Man.
No, but he's obviously there. He was crucial to Endgame and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's so funny because they were a classic team up in the comics.
Yeah. Jude's introduction to Deadpool was the 2000 Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah.
In which,
Ultimate Spider-Man?
I guess. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Coulson is the high
that was in
school
the
principal.
early 2000s.
Yeah. In which, a PG Deadpool appears quite a bit.
This
There
is a
have
very
actually
funny
been some-
episode.
Yeah.
They've made some pretty good Spider-Man cartoons over the years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even in the 80s, his Amazing Friends.
I mean, Spider-Man, my introduction to Spider-Man was through the 70s cartoon when I was like super little.
And the Electric Company.
At the Electric Company. Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a new one on the way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
And people are already upset that the guy who turns green is black.
It's like, okay, guys.
Even if it's a costume. It's like you're upset the Green Goblin is black.
It's like, guys,
It's going to be okay.
it's going to be okay.
Like, the Silver Surfer's a chick? No. It's an androgynous sexless being.
Yeah,
That surfs.
exactly. Yeah, it's like, just get over being racist and sexist and bigoted. Like, and watch your silly little show about people wearing costumes punching each other.
And have skin colors that are otherworldly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they recast the person as a black actor, but you're standing over here next to a purple skinned critter.
Yeah.
Let's leave our selective outrage at home.
So, all right. Well, here we go, everybody. This is Deadpool and Wolverine. We open with our Marvel fanfare. Deadpool's humming along, or maybe Ryan Reynolds is. Who knows? We cut to him. He's in a snowy forest. We get some Ryan Reynolds.
Narration.
Yeah, some voiceover about how we're bringing back Wolverine since he died in Logan. He says he's not really dead, starts digging up his grave, finds the bones, realizes he is really dead.
And I like that he just automatically assumes that, like that is the most noble Wolverine. Like that's where I start.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Wolverine. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's silent respect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and functioning under the knowledge of I have a healing factor and I can't be killed. Wolverine definitely can't be killed.
Yeah,
like there's no way he's dead.
But it's like if any Wolverine would save the world, it's this one, which is true. But like he started there.
Yeah.
So like he said, he just ran out of batteries.
Did we talk about the genesis of the idea of why we got the Wolverine that we got?
Like in X-Men?
No. In this movie. So you talked about Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds had a bunch of different story options, whatever. But he sent them a 10-minute long rambling voice memo asking them a bunch of questions about like but why this Wolverine? Why this one? And it led them to ask the question of like, well, we've seen all these other Wolverines. What one haven't we seen? And the worst Wolverine came from Ryan Reynolds being like, but why? Why would I bring another character back when I like, which one can it be? To the point of it being like, this is the best one. And Deadpool knows that. It's kind of
the answer is motivation.
Yeah.
This Wolverine. So Wolverine, the character, never really had much regret. That was not an aspect of his personality they dealt with. If you saw the Wolverine, there was a reason. But this Wolverine would change something if he could.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So you need that motivation, because otherwise it's like, that the Logan one, the Mangold one, he had a conclusion. He was able to die with the last good thing that he did. This Wolverine has unfinished business. So
that's 100%. It's like an actual story reason.
Yep.
I don't agree with people that say this isn't a movie. It doesn't have a story, that it's just like
what?
The joke delivered. Yeah, no, I've heard that. That criticism of it. Like, oh, it's a funny joke delivery system.
Right.
It's just here for
needle
fans,
drops and cameos.
Needle drops, cameos, and fan service. But I disagree. I think it's got a pretty tight, well-constructed little story to it.
And the villains are more illustrated than a lot of movies we've seen. Mm-hmm. I understood Paradox's motivation. I understood Cassandra Nova's motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think it's the one note I have is I think that Wade being that despondent over one rejection from Happy Hogan that he drops being Deadpool altogether was kind of like, we've just got to get there, so let's just get there.
Yeah, but it also smacks of like, this is my last option, this is my last chance. I can't be an X-Men, no good on my own. So I don't know.
I get it. I don't think
he was humbled.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't work. I think it just felt a little rushed, which, to be fair, they had a lot to get to.
The first two movies, he seems like a guy that would not even be bothered respecting or looking up to someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's adorable how much he loves Cap. He saluted a TV screen. It's just, I love it.
Yes. So then a bunch of portals open up. TVA agents come through. They want to arrest him. We get our big credit sequence to bye as he kills them all with Wolverine's adamantium bones.
Which was so cool.
How can he just break adamantium?
Yeah. No, because it's just a coating. It's just like it doesn't.
They're not pure adamantium. It's just coated with adamantium.
You can snap the branch off.
So then we cut to March 4th, 2018. Why that date specifically? Was that the date of the Fox merger?
I think so. And it was before the snap.
Yeah.
Also. So I guess they were given very specific instructions around this scene. Like the date and the decorations in this scene were hand chosen by folks at like Marvel Studios.
Yeah, I'm not sure why March 4th, 2018, other than it being before the snap. Because it was
or a red herring.
Yeah, because that the Fox merger did not occur on that date. So I'm unsure why that specific day was chosen, because it was a specific day.
To make you think time matters?
Yeah, maybe. I was just wondering if it was an Easter egg of some sort.
Yeah, there has to be a relation. Yeah.
So Wade is at the Avengers campus on Earth 616. He's talking to Happy Hogan. He wants to be an Avenger. Happy tells him he's not Avenger material. There was obviously a bunch of Easter egg stuff in Happy's office. There we've got the Iron Man Mark II helmet. We've got Cap's shield. There is the picture of Tony Stark with Spider-Man, but Spider-Man was covered up by the helmet that Kid Spider-Man was wearing in Iron Man. Yeah. We cut to 6 years later. Wade's selling cars with Peter in a toupee. The funniest thing about all of this is that there's a locker room at a car dealership.
Yeah, I love that. We brought that up watching Elf recently when like Zoe Deschanel's taking a shower and singing to herself.
No, once you start to notice,
it wasn't a department store.
Yeah, once you start to notice how many movies have businesses with locker rooms that would not have locker rooms, it's incredible.
It's like you're not a coal miner.
Yeah, you don't work at a gym. Like, what is happening? Even like I guess cops get a locker room, so okay. But I think it just came from that. They're like, well, we need to have a place where they're changing and talking.
Well, if you're a car dealer, you're probably sweating a lot. So
are you? You mostly sit inside an air-conditioned office and occasionally walk
if you
out.
Find us a car dealership with a shower, and then I'll shut up.
I'm not going to go looking, but I don't know. Just, they might need to change their shirts so they don't smell throughout the day.
We're not wondering why someone would need a shower. It's the location.
Yeah, we've all worked many jobs, Al, the four of us over the years. None of them had locker rooms, despite how sweaty it got. I worked construction briefly. We didn't get a locker room.
The strip club had lockers, though, right?
The strip club had a locker room. Yeah, a locker room for the girls. Not one for the DJs, though. We didn't get to go and change.
Just sweaty messes.
He's trying to sell cars. Peter, and he changed clothes in their locker room, then bike home. Peter's trying to talk Wade into being Deadpool again. Wade notices people watching him from across the street. They go into his apartment, and he finds his friends there. It's a surprise birthday party. This includes Vanessa. He and Vanessa have broken up at some point in the last 6 years.
The face he makes when she's like, he's into hiking. He's like, yeah, great.
Into hiking. Wade, there's a few minutes of Wade's birthday party as we, reconnect with the characters from the last movies. Then there's a knock on the door. Wade opens it, and it's the TVA. They capture him and take him to Mr. Paradox, who explains what the TVA is. They're an organization outside of time that monitors the sacred timeline and the wider multiverse. They prune branches, yada, yada, watch Loki.
I love how they're able to wrap that up in a nutshell.
Yeah.
For people who haven't watched Loki.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, just to explain what's going on really quickly. It was neat, tidy.
Yeah, you absolutely.
And without the He Who Remains trappings.
Yeah, you don't need to know anything other than they monitor time to make sure that it doesn't get all crazy in the multiverse.
Right. Comics have a lot of those organizations.
Yeah. So he offers Wade to have a future on Earth 616. He shows him videos of the Avengers, him dying with Thor. First, Wade accepts. We get the montage of him being suited up for a new suit.
All the package grabbing and butt smacking.
Yeah, shot after shot.
He's a predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, first off, your tailor's a predator, but yeah.
He does good work.
But then Paradox reveals that Wade's timeline is deteriorating as a result of the anchor being Logan.
Oh, important. He gets adamantium katanas.
Mm-hmm. Yes, which is how he can fight Logan and not have his katanas instantly destroyed. And normally it would take thousands of years, but he's going to use a time ripper to accelerate the process.
Because he doesn't want to sit there for a couple thousand years.
Yeah, I guess so.
And he wants to run the TVA.
Yeah, he's looking to make himself. Yeah, he's looking to move up.
But he makes it sound to Wade like he's doing something noble, the mercy killing kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's for the best.
That's how he's justifying it.
Mm-hmm.
But
or lying.
Yeah. 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 Then but Wade steals his tempad and uses it to travel to Logan's grave, and loops us back to the opening credit sequence. When he can't get Logan resurrected, he decides to travel through the multiverse, finding a replacement Logan. We see all the ones we talked about: Short King Logan, Age of Apocalypse Logan, Patch Logan, Old Man Logan, Crucified Logan, Logan fighting Hulk, Cavalrine, and then we finally find the worst Wolverine. Very drunk. Everyone hates him. He knocks Wolverine unconscious and takes him back to the TVA.
No, he does not knock. He does not knock him unconscious. Okay. He holds him at gunpoint, and Logan just finishes that bottle and passes right out.
That's right.
Just falls backward. I love the bartender that's been serving him, but he isn't welcome there.
Yeah. How many drinks in did you decide he wasn't welcome? Wade returns to.
But I guess it is pretty heavy to know that Wolverine was the one that like hunted down humans and led to the X-Men's death. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking, it puts a little more gravitas to "you're not welcome anywhere."
Yeah.
It's not like the animosity in the first X-Men movie where it was just like, I don't know. That's interesting.
No, it's
that's a big grudge.
It's pretty heavy. Like,
yeah,
you betrayed your own kind and mankind.
Yeah.
Wade returns to the TVA with Logan. Paradox tells him that you can't replace an anchor being with the worst Wolverine. And then Wade figures out that Paradox is kind of going rogue here, acting without the knowledge of his superiors. So Paradox sends Wade and Logan to the void.
I love that element with Wade because they didn't need to do that. But him saying like, wait, you're off book. Everybody here is like sweating. It reminded me of the scene in Deadpool 2 where he looks over at the nurse with the creepy, the sneaky sex lips, and he shoots him in the head immediately.
Yes.
He's just like, you can always tell. You can just always tell, man, that guy was a fucking predator. They're not the same thing, but he has this intuition that he just is always following. Mm-hmm. Always. Like, nope, my gut is saying this. Like, you're right. I do want to do that. Well, good. I mean, punch you in the face. Like,
in the void, Logan and Wade fight. And
I'm glad there was more than one fight.
Yeah.
Nobody had to just say the name of their mom, and it was cool.
Well, we had good
The
reason.
safe word is Martha.
The first fight, like I would be mad too if it's just me and another person that I was just mad at, and we're somewhere else.
Right. And then
There's just dead stuff
make
everywhere.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And I loved seeing Logan leap, like run on all fours and then
Yeah.
do the flying. Laura did it in both movies.
Using his claws to get speed too.
Yeah.
To like
Mhm.
pull himself across the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Really
that
well
looked great. There's, of course, the big in the void. There's the big 20th Century Fox logo has been
R.I.P.
Yep.
Fox. A lot of this stuff
There's
is
a
practical.
shield. There's an enormous Thor helmet, classic Thor helmet.
Yeah, classic Thor.
And,
Oh,
and the
big.
classic Captain America next
Mhm.
to it too.
Yeah, we see
And
all sorts.
another Four car, a fantastic Four car.
Yeah, we see all sorts of stuff out there. Yeah, and there's a helipad and a Chitauri.
Yeah, the Titan ships, the circular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's all sorts of stuff just in the background here and there. All sorts of buildings and pieces from like comics and movies. So finally, Wade convinces Logan to stop attacking him when he claims the TVA can change his timeline back. Then there's a figure appears up at the top of a scaffolding and tells them that they shouldn't fight each other. They should fight together or they'll lose. A convoy approaches. That's where there was a Fantastic Four car there. There was what were all the vehicles?
Red Skull's car.
Red
but with Tony
Skulls,
Stark
yes.
flames.
Oh yeah, the
Yes.
Phantom.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. But then
Before the characters revealed, what is the word? He says dickheads or something. He says something off color, and Deadpool just cocks his head
yes.
because language.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we see it's Chris Evans. Of course, Deadpool's assuming it's Captain America, but then it's revealed he's actually Johnny Storm, the Human Torch from the 2000s Fantastic Four films.
That's one character that Deadpool doesn't acknowledge knowing the Fantastic Four. He does the Spider-Man, the Avengers, the X-Men. It's cool. It's probably going to tie in with First Steps.
Yeah. So he flames on, and Pyro sucks all his fire out of him. And Wade and Logan get captured alongside with Johnny.
That landing.
Oh, the superhero landing.
No, Johnny's landing after he gets the fire sucked out of
his
him.
nuts.
Lands on his nuts and then falls off whatever that structure was, like right onto his face.
Yeah, you're
Oh yeah, and does like a very comedic onto his face, and then like the body flops down.
He almost folded in half.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the legs come up over the head.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They get taken to Cassandra Nova, who lives with her pals.
She lives at Pim Falls, which is from the comics.
Mm.
A variant of Giant Man that died.
Yeah. We find out she's the twin sister of Charles Xavier. She made a deal with the TVA to keep everybody in the void. She kills Johnny.
So crazy the way
Sticks and stones, Johnny. It's one of my favorite lines in the whole fucking movie, man. I never said anything like that. I never even heard those words together.
I never said any of those words.
I don't even know what they mean. Half of that means. And I love that this is one of the more brutal Wolverines, but he's constantly bringing up like the destruction of innocent life or, the unnecessary. It's like he died by murder.
Yeah.
Like you killed that kid.
Yeah, so she sticks her fingers in Wade's head. We get a flashback of him and Vanessa breaking up because he can't be an Avenger. Then Alioth comes from Loki, season 1.
Season 1, episode 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He's
it's
in that
also a
thing?
show. The MCU is the MCU, but also Loki makes that show.
Yeah. They so all of the villains take off to escape Alioth, and Wolverine and Wade jump on a giant leg. I believe that was from the
Sentry.
A sentry? Okay. A sentry leg.
Yeah.
Well, that was my guess, but I don't know.
I heard
It's
I heard theories it might have been from an Ironmonger suit. But a sentry makes more sense, I feel like.
I'm pretty sure that it's a sentry from the McAvoy and Fassbender movies.
Yeah.
Sentinel.
Oh, Sentinel.
Sentinel.
Did I say Sentry?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sentinel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in his flashback, those pylons, those concrete pylons were like Stryker put those up as barriers to notify Sentinels. Yeah.
So yeah, they escape. They fly away to the top of some cliffs.
And they land in such a Wile E. Coyote way, and it even looked like purposely animated.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That was Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds written thing. They wanted that. They're like, we wanted a tableau that was funny. We wanted a big scene, and this was our moment. It's like, well, it worked.
Yeah, it did.
And like vehicles or items with no navigational sense happen to always get to where it is you're going.
Yep.
Always.
Well, I mean, Wolverine's flying. He's got the,
Sure, he's
the
probably steering
superpower
it.
of luck. Yeah, and a long claw to wiggle around inside that thing.
I mean, they all have main. They all
Just wiggle it around.
yeah. They all have main character direction like GPS. So yeah. So they find an abandoned diner where Wolverine finds some rubbing alcohol to drink.
That was one question. Like, why are inanimate objects pruned? Like, why would you
I think
prune an oil taker?
They come with the other stuff. They come with the people.
Yeah, I imagine the objects come in with the people interacting with them.
That's weird. Because you have to use that stick and make contact. Anyways, it's not important in the least. But
Didn't a car come in Loki that they were driving? Like they drove a car into the void?
yeah, no, that car was there.
That was there. Yeah.
The pizza car was already there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
This is just the end of time.
I mean, because there's a lot of stuff in the void,
Yeah.
even in Loki, that's like stuff.
Right.
I guess it takes the long way there, maybe too.
Yeah.
Some of it.
Yeah.
It's not important. But yeah.
Movie ruined.
That was a cameo item in the void. Was the ice cream truck from Moon Knight,
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
which I still believe was in Latveria. I think that's the castle he wakes up in front of.
A vehicular cameo.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, they talk and bond in the diner about their various traumas.
He tells her about X-23. He tells him.
Yeah.
I'm mixing my pronouns too.
Yeah.
Just like DP did. He tells Wolvie about X-23.
Yeah.
I know it's pronounced him.
And Logan's genuinely curious, like, that Wolverine died. How? And then, like, why is that Logan so great?
Mm-hmm.
What could I have possibly done?
I like Wolverine being curious about how.
Yeah.
Right. Because he's thought of every scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's tried.
But it's
All of
just
them
like,
tried.
eventually cells break down.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and he ran out of juice.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Wolverine's like biggest weakness water?
Right, drowning.
Like drowning.
Yeah.
I think that's. I don't know if they tried that and figured a way out of it at some point in the comics, but I know that's come up. Like he's not really great with water.
I mean, he's too heavy to swim.
Wolverines don't swim. Badgers don't swim.
He's 300 pounds.
Yeah.
The weight of that
good,
skeleton.
It's true.
Yeah. So they head out. They meet Dogpool, and then Nice Pool.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Yeah.
He falls instantly in love.
Yes.
There's something about ugly dogs.
And Nice Pool's like, where's your mask? Come on, you guys.
Yeah. And he has these badass Sicario type guns, and you don't get the idea he uses them.
Yeah, no, not at all.
The gold-plated 50 caliber pistoleros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Desert Eagle pistol.
Yeah,
that's a heavy gun. Gold plated. It's got to be even heavier.
Yeah. He tells them first. There's a lot of Deadpools in the void.
And it makes so much sense. Like they can't follow any rules.
Mm-mm. Yeah. So they're gonna. Yeah. So they're gonna get pruned a lot.
And like Deadpool's makes sense because he used the watch to change his own past. So that's a pruning. But like other ones just said something.
Yeah. They just broke the fourth.
To tell them.
They just broke the fourth wall a little too hard. So
right.
That's it.
Destroying a universe.
Yeah.
Pruning the school canoe. That's pruning.
That's a pruning. Laughing at my sandals.
So yeah, he tells them they should find a resistance group that's been fighting Cassandra. He gives them a car.
Honda Odyssey.
It's funny that Wade didn't mention that it was pruned because it sucks. It wasn't an effect on a universe. It was just a terrible minivan, so they pruned it.
Nice Pool calls it Betsy.
Yeah.
Sean Levy drives a Honda Odyssey that he calls Betsy. I think that's why all the hate for the Honda Odyssey in the movie.
Dude, minivans go hard.
They do.
Like, try fucking.
They got torque, man.
Yeah. Although it's not technically a minivan, he says at the beginning. So while driving, Wolverine gets to drive. Wade admits that he's not certain about the TVA being able to fix his timeline. So him and Logan have the big car fight.
Before we get into that, the landscape of the void is interesting. They flew up to that plateau and then like grassland and then a cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then they drive the Odyssey out of the cornfield and it's just this like just desert again. And then then they end up in a forest where they have their second big fight.
Yeah. I wonder how
it's crazy because those little creatures that look like quail with the ball, those were in Loki as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, are they indigenous to the void? Because why would they be pruned and why would they collectively be pruned? And what are they?
No, those things. Yeah, I was wondering what those actually were.
Like, so there's flora and fauna. Well, we said flora.
Yeah,
the different environments, but
again, it's the end of time.
Happens.
It's just evolution happens.
Yeah, you're
Those
right.
evolved
And
from
they
something.
explain that in Loki that's why it's called the dumping ground. Because
that's the end of time. There's
you
nowhere.
can go.
Yeah, for them to go. They're not going to mess anything up because there's nothing left to mess up.
Oh, and I bet when a timeline's pruned, everything in that universe goes. Maybe that's why there's ships and cars.
That makes sense.
Diners, who built a diner?
Yeah, I was wondering about the
And then
diner. I was wondering if
abandoned
that was a specific diner that we should be aware of somehow.
That would make sense. Like once the universe is pruned or the universe naturally dies, those atoms still exist. Yeah, okay. I'm working this out.
The remnants end up somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Energy. Yeah. B. Okay.
So, yeah, they both are left basically unconscious from the fighting, which seems to go on for quite some time.
The tongue lashing that Logan gives Deadpool in the car just before they fight is, I think, one of my favorite Hugh Jackman moments ever.
I agree. And it has such dad energy. They're in a minivan and he's like, he's going at him like a dad that's been in the car with a kid for 13 hours.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what? I don't like your shit. You're not, this isn't cute anymore.
God's greatest jokes that you can't die.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's
Such
one
a
of the worst
powerful delivery.
persons, one of the worst people he's met.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been alive for more than 200 years.
Yeah.
And I love the one more word, gubernatorial.
Yeah, the pause.
And I love I'm going to fight you now.
Mm-hmm.
That's an ominous thing, saying, I'll kick your ass. It's kind of vague. I'm going to fight you now.
Well, and just like quiet and serious all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's his most serious moment, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And the fights in this are the best Wolverine fights we've seen.
Yes, period.
Because we have someone he can fight that can take it for that long.
Right, that long.
When he fights some foot soldier, that guy's just gone.
Right.
The day actor, he's just gone. But this, epic, just epic Wolverine Deadpool fight.
But you're right. There were times when Wolverine pulled his punches, even if it seemed like he didn't. So yeah, it was great. He's like, I'm going to give you everything I got.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that
the full Wolvie.
The full Wolvie. Fucking claws to the head. But I love that he changes his opinion on the Odyssey just because it was awesome to fight in.
Yeah.
Like, this was a great place to fight. I love him wrapping the seatbelt around Logan's neck and hopping through the skylight to sort of hang him up.
Yeah.
It was a great fight.
Yeah.
It's one of the best comic book fights ever. Because, yeah, like you said, Superman, you can end a fight quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So they get found by the resistance group and taken back to their hideout. Elektra, Blade, Gambit, and finally X-23. I'm sorry about Daredevil. It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
And that was like people for a half a minute tried to, like Us Magazine type culture, tried to make Jennifer Garner this like poor, cheated on woman who she was like, I'm glad to be rid of him. I wouldn't be surprised if she called J-Lo.
Right.
This gambling idiot.
I love the Magneto moment. Please tell me Magneto's here. He's dead.
Yep.
Fuck.
And then it's logical to assume like, well, the helmet's laying around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
yeah. So the Wade convinces them to form an alliance to fight Cassandra. Logan is still against it, but then X-23 convinces him.
They're also very preoccupied with what happened to Johnny.
Yes, they are.
They're sweet baby angel.
Yes.
And I love the way Chris Evans made fun of his own Brooklyn accent from the Fantastic Four. Like, he really lays it on thick in this.
Yeah, he does.
Because Johnny had it. Yeah.
So they head out to fight.
And it's a collective motivation as well. They all want to matter.
Mm-hmm.
They all want to have an ending to their stories and be heroes too.
Yeah.
It's noble.
They're not just doing it for heroic reasons.
Right. Because they're going to die. They know
themselves.
this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paradox talks to Pyro.
Yeah.
Stop doing that voice.
Yeah. Yeah. We find out that Paradox and Pyro are in cahoots.
Pyro picks up the like half-eaten Spam can and smells it as if that's like tasting it fresh. No, it's not. Never was.
In Twin Peaks, Sorry, we just watched an episode from season 2 last night. Dale Cooper walks into an abandoned house and sees some powder in the dirty ass sink of this abandoned house and just takes it and like, like, what are you doing? You have no idea. That could be Clorox. What? And he says it's baby laxative. How do you know what baby laxative tastes like? Right? And how do you know what it tastes like, Dale?
That's part of the FBI training.
You've got to know all the different powders.
They make you taste all kinds of things.
They makes you taste every powder, so anytime you walk into a crime scene, you can taste it and know what it is.
Even if it's cocaine, you just took some cocaine.
Anyway, sorry, tangent. They head to fight Cassandra and her villains. They fight the resistance people, distracting her henchmen, while Wade and Logan go up and block her powers by putting Juggernaut's helmet on her head.
And again, the answer is variant, but generally Juggernaut's helmet is fused to his skin.
Yeah. But yeah, variant.
Originally he wasn't, because there was a scene where Angel flew over and pulled his helmet off, but at some point they made it permanent.
The Juggernaut is played by the dude who played Guy in Free Guy, or Dude in Free Guy, the big muscular Ryan Reynolds. That's the.
I don't know if I saw. I didn't see that.
It's fun. It's not good, but
it looked fun.
Great.
I wasn't taking the stand I did on Forrest Gump for a year.
I think a number of Sean Levy movies are fun but not good. The first summer my friend Josh and I traveled around the country. Forrest Gump had just dropped, and everyone was also reading the novel of it, and so we took a stand against seeing it. And then one day Josh saw it without telling me, and he was like, "Yeah, you better see it." He just put it on. I watched the whole thing from the other room, and then he came in. He's like, "Yeah, it's frustratingly good, isn't it?" So then Cassandra gets betrayed by Pyro, who's is betraying her for Paradox. She almost dies, but then
I love Wolverine's. Not everybody gets a speech.
Yes. Logan convinces Wade to remove the helmet. She heals herself and uses a sling ring to open a portal to back to Wade's original Earth. What is it? 10,005. If even earlier, if you notice, you can see the Doctor Strange's cloak is sitting on the throne she's on, which is Thanos's throne that she's on.
That's dope. I didn't see that. And that reminded me, though, the way her blood drips on her chin, it makes a Thanos chin.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So they jump through the sling ring portal. Then Cassandra learns about Paradox's Time Ripper from Pyro. She kills him and follows Logan and Wade to Earth 10,005. There, she reveals her plan to destroy all timelines, leaving only the void. She summons an army of Deadpools, the Deadpool Corps.
Yeah, I love it. That's such a villain thing. Like, transactionally, all right, I'm not going to kill you because you didn't kill me. But I'm not making this easy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Somebody else can kill you.
Yeah, I don't care if you die. I just won't personally do it. So then we get the big battle while she goes in and fucks up Paradox, sticks her fingers in his head and goes down and does the thing with the big CGI blasty things that are all CGI and everywhere.
It was so fun, though, to just see the two of them just go at it in the different ways. I love, like, Wolverine kills a guy with his claws, but then takes his gun and shoots him twice.
Yeah.
And then throws the guns.
Yeah. We get the big Deadpool battle. So, first, Nice Pool and Mary Poppins show back up, and he uses Nice Pool does not have a healing factor. He doesn't have regeneration, so he's just dead. While Deadpool's using his body as a shield.
Yeah, he died doing what he loved. Died from murder. No, from murder.
I'm paralyzed. That's why.
Yes. And then the big fight scene looks great.
The fucking cowl, man.
Yeah,
saving the big guns.
Well,
usually for killing.
Mm-hmm.
It changed the mask game when they started animating the eyes.
Absolutely.
Like Sam Raimi had Spider-Man do it, but that was a practical effect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he moved his face and the eyes moved in and out. But yeah, being able to fully animate them makes the costume so much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the white eyes too for Wolverine
right.
too just made a huge difference.
Yeah.
I hope we don't ever see it with Batman. That's the one character that I'm like, they don't need an animated mask. But everybody else, bring the animated mask.
Because Batman he's just a dude. He's just a guy.
Well, you see his eyes.
Yeah.
In comics, usually the white eyes are what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything over his eyes. All of these other guys have like eye things.
Because of DC face blindness.
Yeah.
Well established.
So big fight on the bus. When it's over, they all start regenerating and they're afraid they're gonna have to do it again. But then Peter shows up. He was referred to as Peter Pool.
Yeah. I just love that. I love that there is one person.
Yeah.
That they love.
I love it because he was a creation of the second movie as a one-off bit for what's his name, Rob Delaney.
Mm-hmm.
And for the hiring montage where they're interviewing people.
Yeah,
you needed one guy who just answered an ad.
Yeah, just a normal dude.
But that joke now is Deadpool's like connective tissue across the multiverse.
Right. Without saying it, they implied he's an anchor being.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they all just aren't gonna try to kill him anymore. So then they go in to try to stop Cassandra. Paradox tells them that they could destroy the Time Ripper by disrupting its power flow. It will kill them, even with their healing powers. Logan and Wade both go in. They both want to be the one to do it. In the end, they end up doing it together.
We get the what's the Star Trek movie with Spock inside the chamber?
Wrath of Khan, baby.
Wrath of Khan. But the flying like Superman past the window.
Yeah.
So again, I listened to the director's commentary. All of that shot was one take. That was the first take they did of it. That's it. They just did it.
That's cool.
Perfect.
Which is perfect. Because, I mean, you squeeze the juice out of something like that. Like, we got to do 30 more takes, Ryan. Let's see which one's the funniest.
Yeah.
Like, no, just do something stupid and we'll put it in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I appreciate that so much more than them being like, yeah, we really wanted to make sure that it looked right when he did the stepping down the stairs motion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I like hearing slapdash shit for scenes like that where it's like, oh, this is stupid. Don't take it seriously at all.
Well, and both of them are trying to do something to redeem themselves, and they're still flexing on each other.
Yes.
It's like, I'm going to be more honorable. But he's also wanting to protect Logan, but it's also sharing the fucking credit.
Yes. So in the end, it destroys the Time Ripper. They do it together. Cassandra's killed in the process. Then Hunter B-15 arrives with more of the TVA to confront Paradox. He tries to cover it up. He blames Cassandra, saying that Wade and Logan are heroes.
Peter.
I was going to say, we get some of the best arrangements of like a choral arrangement in the MCU thus far That Like a Prayer.
Yeah.
Like a Prayer,
With them spinning and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
Very well done. The whole Like a Prayer thing was great.
I don't think the climax would have been as good had it not had that Like a Prayer arrangement, honestly.
Yeah.
And when the shirt blows off,
yeah.
just
and Deadpool
just
Deadpool's
explodes.
just looking
Peaks.
at his Peter and B-15 falling for each other is the most like adaptation
Yes.
hokey movie. It took
Yeah.
2 seconds. Like I could see them liking each other, but it was just
Like making fucky eyes immediately with
Yeah.
each other.
And Paradox addresses it. What the fuck is happening?
I love Paradox so much. I hope he comes back, man.
I think he might.
Yeah. No, he's so slimy, but he's so like upfront of like.
Everything he says in this movie is so fucking funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's old Yellering,
Heart one in
my
the head.
universe making you peckish, and just him eating a sandwich. His delivery, like
A little cucumber.
yes, a little,
sandwich.
a little bit.
So, yeah, Wade and Logan then walk out. They did not die because it turns out both of them together could handle it, even though it would have killed one of them.
They walk out to, is it Goo Goo Dolls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this the same song from earlier?
it is.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And it's that same
Iris,
guy,
yeah.
too, who's watching.
I like
Does your
when
wife work at HR?
The guy who was like just looking at
ready
it like,
to give it all away.
wow. Yeah.
That ass. I like when they use the invulnerability in a logical way. They did it in Days of Future Past, where like it would tear your brain apart. Well, what if your brain regenerates? It's the thing with this. Like, it's specifically that. So it makes up for all the like. It's pretty convenient that they can't die.
Yeah. Sure.
Just like I like that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it uses it as a key to some sort
Yeah.
of lock that needs to be opened instead of
Right.
like, well, they didn't make it, they didn't die at any point during the movie and now it's over,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of how every X-Men movie is felt,
Right.
except for Days of Future Past, really.
Yeah.
The best one.
So it's then revealed that, so Paradox gets arrested by the TVA. She congratulates Wade and Logan, says that they their actions stopped Earth 10,005 from deteriorating. Wade asks Hunter B-15 to save the resistance group from the void and change the history of Logan's world. She says that she can't change the history of Logan's world. It's what led to him being a hero now, but she'll let him stay in Wade's world.
I
bring
just,
a few
this is unrelated to everything that's happening at the end of the movie. I just remembered a thing that needs to get mentioned before this podcast ends. So when the movie was finished, you get like screeners, right? That you can watch and like, is this the final edit? Is this what we're going to do? Is this, should we rearrange section C and B and G or whatever? Ryan Reynolds started to shop around with his copy because he got one and Hugh Jackman didn't. But he was going to get a copy for Hugh. And he started shopping around, editing in a nose whistle, like the sound of his whistle or of his nose, like making a whistle sound every time Hugh breathed. And he said it was $70,000. That's why he didn't do it.
Oh, didn't do it. Okay.
He didn't do it. Because it was one of those things where I was like, that's almost worth it just so you could tell the story, but goddamn, that's so much fucking money.
That is.
And a lot of work that a lot of people have to do. But that's a really funny bit to do to somebody with a multi-million-dollar film.
That is hilarious. Like, just, I imagine it'd be very subtle most of the time, too.
Well, and there's a nerd somewhere that would do it for a couple hundred.
I mean,
adding a whistle?
I'm sure it could absolutely be done for under $70,000, just not in the sound mixers union.
Well, yeah, and in the right
union.
time frame. Well, and that's
Sure.
the thing. He is a producer in Hollywood. He has to use the union member.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can't just have his cousin do it for him.
70 grand is more than half a house.
Yeah.
Or is about
Yeah.
half a house.
Yeah.
It used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be.
Most are start at 200,000 now.
Yeah. Yep. So Wade invites Logan to meet his friends.
They go get shawarma.
They get shawarma. Yeah. And Wade invite.
You know, the Avengers discovered shawarma.
They did.
Again, it's an ad lib from RDJ. Still paying off. So Wade invites Logan to meet his friends. Logan encourages him to reconcile with Vanessa. They celebrate Wade's birthday together. Everyone's happy. Does some voiceover. We see their two masks. Credits roll. During the end credits, we get clips of all the different Fox Universe movies to the time of our lives. Good riddance. And then in an after credit sequence, we see Johnny Storm actually talking all that shit about Cassandra Nova.
And more.
Yes.
Word for word.
Yeah, word for word.
So much inflection and cartoon Brooklyn accent.
You can quote me on that.
And you can quote me on that.
And that is Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, pretty good movie.
Can't believe it got 3 of them.
I know. That's crazy.
I remember thinking the first one was like the coolest thing ever. Like, I can't believe we're getting one of these.
Yeah, and 3. And the third one made almost $1.5 billion.
Well, and when it's sold to Disney, you just got the feeling of like, well, that's done. That's just not Disney in any way.
Yeah, but Feige was
good for Feige.
It's like, do it. I hope this leads to us getting more R-rated MCU films.
Yeah.
I think it will. Might take a few more years, but...
All right, well, we got to rank this, right?
We're back on our ranking, guys.
It's in the top 10 for me.
Same.
So let's take a look here.
Watched it so many times.
We have Deadpool and Deadpool 2, one right next to the other at 23 and 24. I definitely far agree this is much better than either of the previous two, personally.
Will you scroll up?
Yeah.
Same.
Let's see.
Okay, I could put this around Ragnarok and what was the one below it?
Ragnarok and Guardians 3.
Or even under Logan.
Oh, Logan at number 4. So somewhere here in the top 10, between like 4 and 10 is what Josh is saying.
I'm surprised we have Suicide Squad so high.
What
about under the Dark Knight?
The Suicide Squad.
No, I know.
But under,
that was good.
Yeah. I think we were just so happy to see a good DC movie that we were like, yes.
No, that's a great movie. I'm all around.
Yeah.
What about just below that?
And
I don't know. It's better than Civil War, but
I think it's better than Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War was the thing. I don't know. Al, what are you thinking?
This is better than the Avengers.
I just watched it again the other day. It's an important movie, but not as good a movie comparatively.
Yeah.
Compared to what came after. Yeah.
I did compare this to Deadpool Endgame. So, I mean,
Endgame is like...
I've chimed in.
I know, Endgame's number 1, but...
I second Josh's number 5 over Civil War.
I can agree with that. I don't think I can see putting it above any of these top 4 ones.
No, Logan is a film.
Yeah.
Not a movie.
Yeah.
I'll concur.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and put it at number 5. Between...
Excuse me. Oh, my God.
Put it at number 5 between Logan and Civil War.
Okay.
And that is it for Deadpool and Wolverine. Next week on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are going to be watching The Crow.
Oh.
Will it be as good as Deadpool and Wolverine? I haven't seen it yet. But The Crow reboot with Skarsgård?
Skarsgård.
This gives me a better reason to watch Nosferatu too. I've been scared.
I don't think you need a good reason to watch Nosferatu. It just looks good. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm just
soon.
I'm just a coward.
Oh.
I want to watch
like
it, but I'm
scary
like,
movies?
I'm scared to watch it. All the rats and the blood.
But I think it's funny that we have superhero fatigue, but not vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Apparently, there's like a bit in Nosferatu with so much with a cat, like what's his face? Willem Dafoe walks in to I don't know, the lady's house and just is like, ooh, cat, and just picks it up. And then at the end of the movie, after Nosferatu dies, Willem Dafoe comes in and just picks up the cat and walks out and takes the cat with him off into the sunset.
We're
him and
familiar.
the cat.
Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God. Now I have to see this movie just for the cat arc.
But yeah. But yes, next week on Harmless Phosphorescence, The Crow. Until then, thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate y'all. This has been one of your hosts, Thoreau Smiley, and boys, we're going to be making you do this podcast until you're 90. Until you're 90.
Look, I'm Josh Cece. I'm not Truthful Timmy, the blowjob queen of Saskatoon.
I'm Brian Lesh, and my superpower is parallel parking.
Can you teach me?
I'm Alaric Weber, and I will still do cameos.
He's on Cameo, actually, if you want to get Al.
$300 for a happy birthday from Al.
Yeah, $300. Yeah, I think.
Or you can join our Patreon and get a happy birthday for significantly less.
Yeah, $1. Easy. We'll see you next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.